know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got you.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by betonline.ag and Underdog Fantasy. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA, college basketball, to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Although the NFL season is done, there's still many games to be played between college basketball, NBA, NHL, and WNBA. There's always time to embrace your inner underdog. All you got to do is predict higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. If you've yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code ChiefConcerns, one word, to claim your free pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. So let's continue to keep the good vibes going into the spring season. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Monday Morning Tight End. I'm Marcus Tash here with legendary Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn. What's going on, JD?
What's going down, my brother? What's going down? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Another week in the offseason, another week closer to things getting heated up here for the 2025 season. And, of course, we're going to be bringing the heat as we do every Monday and Wednesdays in the offseason. But, yeah, I'm excited, man. Tonight we're going to go over some of our the wide receiver room questions.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's because some people are saying maybe the Chiefs go in and get another receiver in the first 3 rounds of this draft. I don't know about that. But we'll discuss the wide receiver issues tonight. But I'm looking at JD. JD's got wide receiver in the free agency. So there you go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to some of the most pressing questions for our wide receiver room in tonight's episode. Of course, we'll discuss other things because that's what we do on the show. So JD, how are you doing, brother?
I am doing well. Sitting over here a little tired. I was telling you, kind of backstage a little bit. I was kind of going through. I was my mother was in the hospital, so all of you all, please put a prayer in for my mother. The Dunn family. She's doing fine. She was released today. She's a tough woman. I'm telling you, 11 children, and I'm the youngest. I'm the baby, and so everybody every time she's talking, they're like, yes, it's my baby. She's like, I can't believe I had me 11 kids. But my mom, she is just a beautiful lady, tough as nails. That's one lady said, "Are you tough as nails?" And my mom looked at her. She said, "I don't know. I don't know if I am or not." She's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, but I think my mom was being modest and humble because she is. She's like an incredible heart of a person. She is, 90 years old. And, Wade was like, "Oh my God, she didn't look like she's 90. I said, "No, she doesn't." I said, she got energy, all those different things of a woman who is probably somewhere half her age. I mean, that's who she is. And so, thank you all for that. So my mom, I'm going to show it to her. She's like, who said hi and prayers to you? I'm like, go watch the show, Mom. She's like, oh, okay. So yeah, bless you.
Good Dunn jeans, man. Mama Dunn jeans, great jeans, man.
Great genes, man. Great genes. And so, yeah, she's doing fine. Thank God. Praise God for that.
That's
so
great.
Appreciate you all for saying that. I've seen all you all here a little bit earlier was talking about my thing, bourbon. I heard y'all talking about bourbon, man. And I was like, okay, dude, having a little conversation about some things I know about over here in Kentucky. So we do a little bourbon thing over here, man. So just a quick little shout, man. Thank you so much, everybody, for sending that prayers and whatnot for my family, my mother. She'll be tickled. She really will. So I'd be telling her that, and so she'll be like, "Huh? Who?" I'm like, "Yeah, Mom. Sasha, about time. G. Pickling, 100, all those guys, Charles Drivers, all this." She like, "Who's those people?" So everything's good, man. Everything's beautiful. Like I said, man, I've been immensely blessed, and so. Uh, so yeah, I had a chance to catch up on a little sleep today on it. But man, shoot, the kingdom, I've been seeing some things just kind of rolling out of them, just not just the kingdom, but the things out here in the world has just been happening, man. The world just been whirled. The world been whirling, right? Life be lifing. I've been taking that's from my niece said it, man. Life just be lifing. And so I know what y'all understand what I mean when I say that. This life just be lifing, man. So we take all of it in stock. And so, hey, I appreciate y'all. I want to say hi and acknowledge everybody in here who's saying that, man. I thank you so much for the prayers and whatnot. My mother, she would love to hear it. So everybody who's in the house, G Pick, man, Hannah is in here with you, Hall. Thank you so much. About time, my man. So we're talking about some bourbon. I heard y'all talking about a little bit of y'all getting in some. What y'all talking about? Let me see. Oh, Rabbit Hole. That's good stuff. Rabbit Hole's some good stuff. Got a couple good bottles up there. See, I don't really drink a whole lot of bourbon anymore. I love having it, kind of collecting it. So some good stuff, man. Some good fire. Hot fire. Russell, 13 years, Stag Jr. Okay, I'm going to see y'all get me start talking about it. About time. Double A, what's up? What's going down, my man? Chief of 65, how's it going, my man? Let me see. Linda Hunter, Melly Metrics. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Susan, Sweetie is in here. Talked about Charles Driver. Thank you so much, Sasha. Thank you so much. Appreciate it for saying so. And everybody send their prayer. DeMonte Green Bees, my brother. What's going on, my guy? God is good. Yes, he is. All the time. Professional 2K. All the time. Valerie Sanders, thank you so much. So, hey, man, I'm glad you catch the live, too. We're going to get into it. We're going to have a good conversation. I tell people all the time, when I tell people, I'm like, look, we got a channel here and whatnot. It's always good to put people on to what we do. And somebody's like, man, let me check your page out. I said, look, we come in on Mondays and Wednesdays now during the off season. And so we come in and we talk about everything. Football, yes. Life is, of course, life be lifing. But other things, too, that's been going out in the world. So I think it's always a good conversation, man. For me, it's always therapeutic. Catch up with my peoples. Y'all my peoples. This is our community right here. This is the love community. This is what it's all about, man. So, and I'm glad to be doing it here with my brother right here, Marcus the Dash.
Love you too, brother. I wouldn't want to do it any other way, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Samjay Guest is here. What's going on, Samjay? What's happening? So
yeah, we have a lot of new subscribers. I've been pointing it out every week, but we've grown, I think, 100 each week over the last few weeks. So we definitely have a lot of new people. We might see some new names. I saw some new comments in there every so often over the last few weeks. So, hey, the community is growing, and we welcome all. We welcome all. That's how we do it here.
Yes, sir. We tell people all the time, man, hey, come on in. The water is fine. It is. It's beautiful. When you say, hey, man, come on. Water is fine. Pop the bubbly into the bourbon, whatever it is. Hey, come on, sit back, relax, and come watch your boy JD and Marcus get at it, man. They're talking about little things. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who said, I want some Church's chicken? Who got me? Man, I don't know. Last time I had Church's chicken. Church's chicken is like, you got like $10, you could get like 50 pieces of chicken. It's like Church's chicken. I had Church's chicken forever. And that's for real.
Yeah, I think there's only one in our area. I think there's one in DC. I think that's it though, as far as Church's chicken. There's only one in the area.
Man, I can't even tell you, man, where one is near me. Shoot.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Yeah, I think there was one in my area. Now, the other day, actually, in the Northern Virginia area, we ended up getting a Raising Cane's for the first one in our area, in the Northern Virginia area, which I know it's a big thing down south because I have a friend who lives in Arkansas, and they have Raising Cane's all over the place down there.
Raising Cane's, we have some Raising Cane's here. Raising Cane's is good. Chicken fingers, it's always good. The sauce is what does it, though. That's it. That's what does it. Yeah. I tell you, you know what chicken that everybody talks about that I'm just like, not really on board with is Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's chicken's just, I don't really go there to get, I'll go get a little kale salad and I'll go get like the waffle fries. Oh, man, better cut it out. The waffle fries, boy, I'm trying to tell you, man, I'll hurt you somehow over some waffle fries. You dig down at the bottom of the bag for that last one, you're like, hold on, man, that was mine.
The best.
It was a big, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. The bottom of the bag fries are the best. Regardless of any fast food place you go to, whenever you find that the little gem at the bottom of the bag, it's best.
Yeah. What y'all said, not a Chick-fil-A fan. Soggy sandwiches, I agree with you. Me either. With you, me either. No. My mom, she likes some of it. She likes the shakes. She likes the shakes there.
Yeah, people like the shakes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pickles on the chicken sandwich is weird. Yeah. So,
are you a big pickles fan, Jay? You like pickles? I'm not a big pickles guy in general.
I used to be. I used to be a huge pickle guy, and then I just kind of lost the taste for them. So, my daughter, okay, I don't know if she's on here or not. Sometimes she sneak on, but she buys jars of different flavors of pickles. That's how she loves them. Deals are sweet. She's had jalapeno. I'm trying to think what it was like a weird flavor she had. She went through some company, got maybe 5 different flavors.
Dang, she's a big fan.
Yeah, huge fan of them. She just wanted to try them, see what they was like, and we all tried them. I'm just like, nah. I'm like, I'm good. You know what? I don't really like. I don't like the. I said this before. I don't really like the sweet and sour type of deal.
Uh huh.
Yeah, she is. See, like
Yep.
her dad, I love my pickle. She does. She loves the pickle. With the sweet and sour thing, I don't really get down with Marcus. You know what I'm saying? I just it throws me off. Either it's got to either be sweet or sour. Either one. But don't do my taste buds like that. So. But yeah, man. No,
I know the pickles. Pickles are a big thing. The Persians love the pickles. So my father, huge pickles fan.
Oh, it's
huge.
okay.
Yeah, not my thing, but yeah, it's a Persian thing. They love their pickles.
So let me ask you this: growing up, okay, and I know some people here right there with me. You ever go to the store and they used to have the big jars of pickle? They used to get the big old deal pickle out. They used to do it with pickle bologna. Do you like pickle bologna? You know what pickle bologna is?
I don't.
You ever had pickle bologna like that? Oh my gosh! Well, they both had them big old jars, man. The big old mason jars or whatever, and you had to take 2 hands or open this sucker up.
Yeah.
Twist it out, and you had to go in with some huge thongs, and they had pickled bologna. There we go, pickled eggs. Ooh, Sasha know. Well, Sasha, you right here in Kentucky, so I know you know a little bit of that. They got those probably in every country corner store, wherever you go. I got me thinking about food, man. We're going to get to it in a second. I'm sorry, food's on my mind because I've been eating. But the big pickle bologna they had. Pickle bologna is one that they have. The big dill pickles is another. The pickled egg is another thing that they have. But if you ever been to like Amish, I know up there in Virginia, I know y'all have a lot of Amish, right? Y'all see Amish?
Maybe down south we do it, not in the North Virginia area.
Really? Well, you know what? But y'all,
I know Pennsylvania we see a lot of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say Maryland and all that. Yeah, so y'all really connected to that side. But y'all go to the backside there and get up there through that way to backside of Pennsylvania.
Like the western, like the West Virginia, Western PA area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at Kevin with the pickled pig feet, baby. Come on, Kev. Come on, Kev. Kev talking now, man. Kev talking. Look, I'm gonna leave y'all. Look, all right, okay. We done with this. All right, y'all making me happy. Right. All right. Pickled pig feet. Some of that, man. Some of that sauce. Woo! I'm gonna leave that alone, man. That's country stuff right there, baby. Country things. So.
A lot of Amish have moved into Virginia in the King George area and surrounding in the last few years. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So I guess we do have a little bit of the Amish peeps in the area.
Yeah, Amish is practically everywhere, man. Them jokers pop up anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, you come to the store like, man, where is the Amish community at? You know, getting that little horse and buggy.
I wonder if we have any Amish Chief Concerns fans.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're not the. Is that a thing that they don't really do the electricity? They don't have like internet or anything. Is that like a?
They have been known to kind of sneak a little bit. They try to keep it traditional. Mennonites are the ones I think has a little bit more of their like the technology into it base. Like they have things like that. And they're different, Mennonites and the Amish. But maybe we need to go ahead and get the show to old Jebediah out there in the Amish, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up the bologna pickle, the pickle bologna after the show.
Man. Yes, sir. Man. Okay.
But JD, we were talking beforehand before we came on here. So you got a question from some people about the offensive lineman in the draft or whatnot.
So I had somebody on Twitter hit me up and ask me about certain guys, kind of in the draft or offensive tackles, right? And this has been something where we kind of conversated about going in the offseason. What were we looking for? Okay. And I see a lot of people doing, mock drafts and stuff now, right? Everybody's shooting their mock drafts out and whatnot. And I've kind of I've looked at, pretty much the top maybe 8 to 10 tackles that's been projected. And I'm sitting there looking, I'm just like, hey man, there's some really talented guys, man, but I wouldn't spend a first round pick on any of those guys. Nothing against them. I just think as far as what we're looking for, I think that we're looking for day one ready to come play and make an impact, right? I mean, I think at this point in this moment in history or this time, we're looking for an immediate player to come in and do to take that job. And so kind of like I've said before and also Jeff was saying, maybe draft is not the way to go. Great G picks a Gray Zabel as a dude to draft. I watched him. He's an athletic guy. He's more, they say, swing tackle. I seen him in Senior Bowl. They moved him inside, playing a lot of. They moved him all over the place. So he's a guy that is very talented. Plays a lot of different things, different ways, and so he's someone that, without a doubt, could fit into your room. He can play a lot of different positions because he's one of those that is that talented and athletic. But to come in and play and be an immediate impact, I don't know.
Your daughter wants you to show you.
Okay. Real quick, I'm just going. So my daughter wants me to show. She cooked this nice black bean burger. Is what she did. Yeah.
They're teasing you.
Yeah, plantain chips and stuff. I know. See how they do? Yeah.
Looks good. It looks good. They're teasing you, JD. They're teasing you. They know you're hungry, you haven't eaten yet, and they want to get you some food.
The aroma coming through. But going back to him, I tell you, man, he's a very talented guy. But I wouldn't take him. He wouldn't be a first round pick or second round pick for me. He wouldn't be. I said the guy that I like, but he's hurt now, is Josh Simmons from Ohio State.
Yep.
No question about it. No question about it. And because he has that injury, it kind of set him back because he said he'll probably be ready by training camp, right? It's like, okay, he's going to be ready for training camp, for the season and stuff start. He'd be the only one. He would be the only one. And I'm looking over, well, what is, the percentage of him doing the same injury again or being the same player he was before the injury, right? And so because he had, I think it was patella tendon tear, what it was, Marcus, they were saying that he may lose a little bit from what he had before. They were just saying that was one of the things that wasn't as I don't know, it's positive of an injury. But hey, man,
Well, the thing about Simmons, which I've read, is if he does if there is kind of like they get new reports, and as the combine and pro days begin, once they realize he's going to be ready by training camp, they say he'll go shoot up the charts, and it'll be like probably in the teens or early 20s that he would probably go. And that's like we don't have that many draft picks this year compared to the years past. We're going to trade a lot of draft picks to go up to get a guy who is still coming off an injury. And, we don't know if he's, again, it's a crap. I know that as much as we love the draft, it's a crapshoot, right? A lot of people thought Kingsley was going to be ready day one, which we never thought so. But you're ready day one, and he's not. And it's like, FAU, we thought he'd be the guy by now, or a guy rotationally. He hasn't really shown that yet. So if you're going to trade up for a guy you're going to have to make your left tackle, and you're going to trade a couple of draft picks for it, that's scary, especially a guy who's coming off an injury.
Yeah, it is. And like you said, it's going to be somebody who is in that space of almost being desperate for a left tackle, somebody that you can develop, you got time to do. Now, if you're developing a team, you're trying to get there, and you might be 2 or 3 years away, he sounds like a great pick, perfect pick for you, right? Can he come here and do it immediately here with the Chiefs is a question. I don't know that. That's why I say, and I do believe our best road is free agency. We're maybe getting somebody in the house, like I said, DJ Humphries, and seeing where those guys are. I know we say Alaric Jackson. We were saying who's up, Cam.
That's my wish list. If I had my druthers, I would go Cam Robinson. 28 years old. I mean, we saw what he did with Minnesota this year. I mean, they had one of the best passing attacks in the league. And like we talked about last week, Trey Smith's numbers and metrics are great, but he's not really a guard for the passing game. He's more of a run game, kind of mauler type of guy, and we're not that offense for him. Cam Robinson's shown to being the left tackle in a team that likes to throw the ball like the Vikings did this past year. He showed he can be a left tackle in that kind of offense, and I think that kind of suits well for us. And also, I like the aspect of bringing another Jacksonville Jaguars tackle. Cam Robinson on the left side and Jawad Taylor on the right side. Trevor Lawrence had one of his best years with those two guys as his tackle. So, Yeah,
no, I've seen it, man. Nice little brotherhood. But what's it going to cost? That's the question. What is
projected salary according to Spot Track is around 3 years annually about 14 a year for him, which actually isn't. I mean, what's Jawad Taylor making right now annually? I mean, I think that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's projected, when a sucker gets in behind them closed doors, I want more is what I want. I want more. So, see, Sanjay Guess is right with me. I agree with Humphries. Give him a full offseason. I think, man, to me, that seems like a solid, decision to make. Especially have a guy that's here who's not going to break the bank. Who's played at a high level, and you give him a whole off season, sure. I said, do it where you give him like 2 years. That way you have him for at least 2, right? He's one of your deals because you got to do it all over again, or you're waiting for a guy to develop. You're still waiting. Are you waiting for King Suma to do that? Or if you do get a guy in the draft and you say, hey, look, we're going to have DJ Humphries here, and you can get ready and all those different things. There's a lot of different ways to go. So,
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind the DJ Humphries signing to give him, and I don't think he's going to break the bank at all. Like that's kind of the beauty about him. He's probably not going to break the bank. And we're talking about what we've been saying as far as like, what are we going to spend on this offseason? If Patrick Mahomes does restructure, I think that would give us about like $30 million to spend this offseason. I mean, if we aren't going to, the reason why I say Cam Robinson, especially if this is projection, I know it's projections, right? So let's say it's around $15 million a year for him. You're not really spending money on a lot of stuff. Cam Robinson would be the one to kind of spend that to get a left tackle you have to worry about for at least a couple of years, 3 years. He's 29 right now, not 28. I misspoke. 29 years old, which is young for a left tackle. You have him for 3 years. You don't have to worry about the left tackle spot for 3 years. And this is something we've been talking about every year, right? Even when we had Orlando Brown, we were talking about, are we going to pay him this offseason? What are we going to do beyond that? Like, I don't want to deal with the left tackle spot for a long time. If you do get this guy, like Cam Robinson, who's proven to be a good left tackle, think about it. DJ Humphries, while it's a good move, It's still a question mark, right? We don't know if he'll get back to his full health, but we're not paying an arm and a leg for him. That's the beauty about that too.
Exactly. And so the thing is, because you still have guys here if it doesn't work out, but I don't see anything that shows that it wouldn't. And especially if you have a whole off season, then you have some time to make a decision as far as like what you do, which way to go. So let's say DJ Humphrey's here and everything's going well, and it's like, okay, it doesn't look like there's going to be any type of setbacks. Makes perfect sense. He's been here in the system, right? He's learned the guys. He's gotten acclimated to what we do. Guys have gratiated him into our offense and in our whole culture. You know, man, and when you hear him talk, man, he's as professional as you get. That's the guy that you want. So I love banking on veterans. I do. And especially a guy that has something to prove, who's trying to absolutely revamp his career. Makes perfect sense to me. So
what do you think? I mean, based on what you've seen about, because I know you have free agency as tackle as number one. What do you think about the guys like Cam Robinson or Alaric Jackson? Like, forget about price tag. What is your just honest assessment of them and how they would be in our offense as a left tackle?
I mean, I think they're both good tackles. You know, I think they're really good tackles. You know, and we say our offense because what our offense has comprised over the past few years. But what I'm also banking on too, Marcus, is Andy and those guys saying, hey, I hope we learn from what we did. We learn. Well, what does that mean? Hopefully, what's that mean is we're going to run the football a little bit more. Hopefully, that's it. Maybe, you know, we get some little bit more protection. I heard it all today. I talked to several people, and we were talking about the Eagles and the Chiefs game. Oh, we didn't think nobody. I'm like, man, nobody thought it was going to be like that. Just couldn't protect them. So, yeah, man, they have to learn from what has kind of been our Achilles heel, is leaning so much more into the pass game that we don't even attempt to run the football, which as talented backs as we have, we absolutely got to implement into what we do. You have to, man. I mean, you got to make a team cover the entire field. Running the football is something that's vital to your success. I don't think you can get away from it in this league. You can't. So,
yeah, I mean, if you look at the tackles we're talking about, right? I mean, Humphreys was a Pro Bowler when he was healthy. Alaric Jackson, great left tackle and a really good offense with the Rams. Cam Robinson, a good tackle with the Jaguars during that prime of or one of the better years for Trevor Lawrence. Leonard Fournette had some good years with Cam Robinson as well. And then obviously in Minnesota this past year. So, there are good – all these guys have shown flashes of being good elite left tackles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would say Cam Robinson and DJ Humphries have shown a little bit more than Alaric Jackson. Alaric Jackson's only got really 1 year of being a guy, so I would call him elite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's good. So that's the thing. You hang your hat on a guy like that, what are you paying and what are you not paying? So, I mean, to get a legitimate guy, that's hard and tough to do, speak guys out of it. But I don't know. It's one of those things, man. And we said, oh, thanks, babe. Ooh, do a little change. Look at her.
There you go.
That's all right.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, babe. Thank you. But something that we're definitely looking to upgrade. But you definitely need a guy. You have to. You want to solidify your line. You got to start there, Marcus. You have to. That's got to be a top priority for us. This off season. It really does. So, but that's why I say priorities, right? Priorities. Let me get how we get over here. Okay, priorities, right? Tackle, defensive line, corner, wide receiver, tight end. There we go in that order for me. So,
and look, I mean, I think the draft needs to be like, I know people talk about offensive tackle, but I think you and I are on the same page. First 2 rounds of this draft, you go best available D end or D tackle, and that's it. You go those two positions. I don't care if it's D tackle round 1 or D end round 1. Those are where you need to go, and that's where the kind of the value is where we pick D tackle. from first to second round, even I think early third, you're seeing some of the best D tackles in there. And I've seen the guy from Kentucky. He's kind of fallen a lot. For some reason, he's fallen off a little bit. It's going to third round, and some of the mock drafts from some of these draft experts, I don't know. But if you can get him in the third round, we have two picks in the third round, an early one too. So like you can get him in the third round. Hey, go 2 D tackles in this draft. I'd love that. I mean, heck, as we talked about last week on this show, we have a lot of D linemen who are free agents. So we really need to rebolster that room, and this is the way to do that. And this is the draft to do that in the trenches, at least defensively. So
I think Walker, kind of talking about him, he's maybe his film was lacking a little bit that pop and that funk that he had last year, the year before his junior year, because he came back because everybody was thinking he was going to be coming out that draft then, his junior year, because he kind of just came and dominated. He was killing folks out there. I think this past year was kind of up and down. The season was kind of, so-so. But he was not saying he wasn't dominant, but they were saying like, hey man, you got to be consistent. So you start questioning who a guy is. That's what teams are evaluating. You can't have up and down year. We have guys like that. One year you want to work, next year you don't. Which one are you? Who are you going to be? Who's the real you? Take the mask off. Right? That's what it is, man. Sometimes in these drafts, and I'm glad we talked to Mike Boyle last week. Wasn't that a great conversation? Dude, oh my gosh. And just talking about getting guys ready and prepared. Who's the guy? What is he? Who is he really? And so Mike was talking about, look, we're getting prepared for, the draft. Their job is do the homework to make sure this is the guy that you're drafting. Yeah, he could be a workout warrior. Yeah, he'll come in and do 225, 34 times. Yeah, he'll run a 4, tackles, D tackles, or 4.8, 5, or 4.7 something, 38-inch vertical. But what type of work is he on the field? What are you getting in between when he's off the field and when he's on? Is he going to work all the time? Is he going to quit? Is he saying he's going to say? I've heard people, look, I've had debates. I was going to say it. I've had debates, really talking about Chris Jones. Some people felt like Chris, at times was a little lazy. I'm just like, first off, Chris is getting double teamed practically more than anybody else in the league. Okay. They could go check out and look that up. I said, but the man's worn out. He's worn out. He's been getting worn out. So we start getting little nicks here and there and stuff. Like to me, it makes sense to take care of a guy like that. And the guys, look, Turk stepped out beautifully this past year. He did. Mike Pennell did a great job coming in and giving you some stuff like the run stopper, like we knew he could with the biggest arms in the league, the pythons, if you will. But yeah, Chris, hey man, he's getting beat up in the inside. And the thing is, refs ain't calling it on him. He get held all the time. Refs don't. Devontae Green Bees, he needs some help. Yeah, refs don't help him. They talking about calls. They never get Chris Jones calls. Never.
That's the one thing. It's a narrative that a lot of people talk about. I see a lot, and I still see it. People are upset that we paid Chris Jones over L'Jarius Sneed, which I've seen a lot this offseason. Crazy, but yeah, I've seen a lot of Chiefs fans still say, yeah, we should pay Sneed and let Jones walk. But the one thing too, it's like a narrative I see a lot. It's like, oh man, that guy comes off the field more than anybody. He's always coming off the field. He's always off the field. It's like, well, because he's getting triple teamed, quadruple teamed all game long. He's exhausted. So maybe if you do get a guy like Walker or a top DT in this draft, he won't maybe come off the field that much because he won't be getting triple teamed because they can't triple team him because he has, they have to worry about multiple guys in that D line, especially right there in the trenches, right there in the middle. So like you get a guy that takes away from having to see Jones come off the field all the time because he's exhausted. I mean, I think that's what you need.
Right. And if a guy like Walker falls to us, like later on, take him. Absolutely take him. Getting him here over in with the Chiefs and this culture, right beside the Chris Jones, man, it'd change his outlook on everything. I'm telling you, he'll be a whole different player. And so, like Mike was saying, and I've said before, man, it's like once you get over in the league, you got to learn how to work. You got to learn how to be in, man. You got to learn how to make a difference. So,
yeah, I did a mock draft the other day. Tyreek Williams came to our first round pick. I went with him. Second round, I forgot where I went. I think I went running back. I think I went with Judkins from Ohio State in the second round. And then third round, Walker was there. And I was like, you know what? I mean, Eagles do it, and they have one of the best defensive lines almost every year. Yeah. I went Walker there. Now, some people may say that's a little bit overkill going too much D tackles, but not really. We don't really have anybody. If we don't re-sign Turk Wharton, Pinnell, all these other guys, it's really Chris Jones and then everyone else. There's no other D tackles in that room, so we do need to replenish the D room to go Tyreek Williams and Walker. Got two guys like that, two stout guys. That'd be amazing. I'd be so. You and I would be throwing a parade if we got those guys.
Yeah. Having he can't have too many great defensive tackles, and I've seen us fall victim to it against our O-line. I've seen our O-line get absolutely beat up against that. A good defensive line. Shoot, Bengals had a great defensive line, and they would give us fits. Who's that, man? They just got rid of old dude, man, that wouldn't play here at Louisville. I know he played at Louisville. Can't think of his name.
BJ Hill?
No. Man, who did the shoot?
D tackle?
D tackle, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sheldon Rankins.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Big Sheldon. Yep. So, he is he some of those that you pick up? I didn't really go and watch him too much this year. Did he make too much of a difference? But I think, man, once you have a very talented, formidable, dangerous D line, it just makes it tough for everybody. It helps out the secondary, helps out your linebackers, helps out everybody. It's your first line of defense. So if I'm coming in, man, I'm coming with the big boys that's going to absolutely beat you up. So we can look at this last Super Bowl, and we seen they brought 4. That was it. No blitzes, Marcus. They ain't blitzes. None of that. Now, obviously, we were down guys. Joe Tooney had to move out to left tackle. That's what we had to regulate to. But still shouldn't have mattered. They shouldn't have been as dominant as they were. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it'll make life easier for the edge rushers. If he did get the dudes we're talking about in this draft, Tyreek Williams, and the dude from Kentucky, it's like you have guys like that. It makes life easier for the guys on the edges because maybe FAU may not be a 12-sack guy, but having those dudes in the middle right there, being able to do a lot, Karlovsky can be a 15-sack guy. FAU can come on and do his thing. Mike Danek can contribute more. It makes life easier for everybody because they got to worry about all that action in the middle. I mean, it'd be
right.
Such an amazing problem to have.
Yeah, you got one-on-one all day. You just know you got to beat your guy. You beat your guy on the outside, man. You'll make it. Sure, you use that. You can use stunts and twists with a guy on the inside who takes 2 guys. Let him pull the guard your way. You come on in underneath. Hey, you right there in the quarterback's face. Sure, thank me later for it. That's what you say. Hey, thank me later. Okay, it's a stunt. Thank me later. So,
yeah,
yes,
I wouldn't be mad at all if they went 2 D tackles in this draft, just because the value is there. And when I was looking at the third round, there was a lot of great defensive tackles, guys who they're saying this defensive tackle class is so good that guys who are going in the third round in this draft probably would have been first or second in last year's draft. And that's the value of this draft, which is I think they need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And that's why Bengals are probably cutting bait with guys like Sheldon Rankins because they see the draft coming up here. They see the D-line depth. They're like, you know what? We don't need to be paying this guy that money. Let's go get it. Let's go get a rookie who's going to be cost control for the next few years.
Everybody's on it. Why wouldn't you? Right? Especially if you can save money instead of going free agent and getting a guy that's, wanting $25 million a year. Hold on for a second. Let's go get this rookie over here, right?
Yeah.
The draft. So,
Which honestly, that might bode well for us. Maybe bringing back Turk Warden, because if it is such a good DT class, guys like that, the teams won't be spending for a defensive tackle because they'll be getting their guy in rounds 1 through 4 because of how deep it is. So that actually may bode well for us as far as being able to get some of these guys back that are leaving.
I agree with you 1,000%.
So, yeah. All right. So, JD, ready to get into the wide receiver room?
Yeah, let's go, brother. Let's get it.
Let's do it. All right, guys. So this is one of the rooms we've been talking about for a long time, right? I feel like every year we talk about the wide receiver room. And so let's talk about it. So free agents this year. So we have 5 receivers that are going to be free agents this year: DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, Justin Watson, Juju Smith-Schuster, McCole Hardman. 2 of the guys who've been here for a pretty long time between Justin Watson and McCole Hardman. Obviously, Hardman had some time in the Jets. He took a sip of coffee in New York for a little bit, but came back. Obviously, Super Bowl hero last year. JD didn't really play much this year. When you look at this receiver room of the guys who are leaving, what kind of stands out to you of the potential free agents that we have looming in the 2025 free agency class?
What kind of stands out?
Yeah, what stands out to you from the 5 guys who will be departing potentially?
All these guys, man, are kind of like journeymen. They got a lot of experience for one, some good experience here. So that's the good depth pieces. It could teach young guys a lot, especially DeAndre, Juju, Hollywood, just all these guys, Cole. So that's one thing you do get. You get a lot of knowledge and experience with these guys. DeAndre Hopkins, for me, is somebody that we've asked to be here, Marcus, for a long time. And I say this, DeAndre Hopkins should have been here years ago, when we were first asking about him to be here. But you want to get paid, ain't nothing wrong with that. Go get your money, big fella. Go get it. But he's one of those, a question to me, we didn't really start throwing the ball to him toward the end of the year. Was his knee bothering him? Was he having a problem getting open? Was there some routes that we just weren't giving him as far as some of the things? I like DeAndre Hopkins. I love everything about him, what he brings to the table. I mean, he's a coach on the field, and he's great for young guys like Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy was able to do what he was able to do because of DeAndre Hopkins was able to help him out. And I don't think Xavier Worthy would have extended as much as he did without having the DeAndre Hopkins there, to kind of mentor him. I just don't. Helped him out tremendously. Same thing, Hollywood Brown. We know speedster, gets up the field, can stretch a defense, got great hands, run great routes, come back for us, and then we didn't really utilize him, at least what I thought we should have. As much as he was throwing the ball, I thought Hollywood Brown should have been much more of a concentrated or particular, type of weapon that we had that we just didn't utilize. He was underutilized for me, I think, in the playoffs. That's me. That's my opinion. So I don't know where everybody else sits with it, but I know Hollywood Brown is a very talented guy that had a great rapport with Patrick Mahomes and should have got more out of him. Justin Watson, because of the guys that we had on here, start looking at Juju and all those guys, DeAndre, Hollywood, Justin Watson had to take a back seat to what those guys is doing. He was our little butterfly blue for us last year because our wide receiver room was depleted. But he's a solid pro, can run inside and outside, do a lot of things good. He can block, can catch at times. He can get open. But it wasn't really something that he was able to do consistently, as opposed to all the other guys on here. But one thing Justin Watson's going to give you, man, he's going to give you a lot of hard work. He's going to give you a lot of effort, try to do things right. So then we go to Juju. Juju, we talked about, 2 years removed from what he was, man. He was our leading receiver. It was almost 80 footballs in that 1 year. Goes up there to New England, man, and gets destroyed. They turned him daggone out. They took years off Juju for I look at it. Bad decision, Juju. I get it. You got to go get the money, man. Got to go get the money. But, man, Should have stayed here with us, but so be it, man. Juju, but he is a solid guy, contributor. We seen that at the end of the year. Got the ball to him. Juju get open. He's a possession guy. He'll sit in the windows, do all the little things right, blocks real well. Doesn't quite have the speed and the quickness and the fast twitches he used to, of course, but he's a solid guy. And then McCole. McCole was, unfortunate, man. He's just, injuries has just been hitting him. So with a speedster like him, somebody who's been vital for us in the past, man, it's just been kind of hard. So,
yeah, the injuries have not helped with him. And the crazy thing about Juju, like, you would think this guy, the way he looks, the way he plays, is kind of like a 32-year-old, 33-year-old. This man's only 28 years old. I mean, it's pretty wild. Like, you see him. And also, I feel like we've seen him for so long. He's been in the league for so long, where it's like you just think he's like his early 30s. But no, he's 28 years old, which is it's sad to see that he has, like, he looks like he's been through the ringer, man. I mean, the way he plays, he looks like he's kind of just slowed down so much from his Steeler days. Even 2 years ago when we had him, he looks like kind of shoved what he was 2 years ago, really, which is kind of – he did show some flashes in the New Orleans Saints game. He looked like old Juju, but then I think he got hurt in that game. We didn't see him again for a couple of weeks. But, yeah, it's just crazy how Juju – like, it seems like he plays like a 33-year-old guy, but he's only 28, which is kind of sad.
He's one of those guys that, a team keeps because he's a solid guy, kind of does everything right, doesn't really have it like anymore, like a Robert Woods, right? You see him out, he's always somebody's always got him. Somebody always got him, make sure he's like, hey, man. Juju's one of those dudes. He's that guy now. He's moved into that conversation out in the league as somebody who is long in the tooth and is going to do the things right. He ain't going to cause too many problems. What's his thing? Is he like a TikTok guy or something? Doesn't he do a lot of,
Yeah, he was big into the TikTok scene and all those dances. Like, he was one of the first ones before it became like a more of a mainstream thing with a lot of athletes.
Yeah, he's done matured since then. Now I know he's like, hey, man, I'm doing cognac and pipes. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't know if he still does that. I think he might have grown up a little bit from it, but that was his thing. So you talk about the guys who are leaving, and I know everyone's asking about the guys who are in-house. So this is why I think wide receiver is kind of a sneaky kind of thing for us. We don't need to delve too much into wide receiver. I think there's maybe one guy to get, and I think it's Hollywood. We'll get into the Hollywood in a little bit, but like, this is the receiver room that we have going into next year. Obviously, put an asterisk next to Rashee Rice. He's going to be suspended at some point next year. He's also coming off an injury. So right now, you got Worthy, you got Rashee Rice, and it's a bunch of question marks after that. After those two, it's a bunch of question marks. Nico Remigio obviously dominated as a return man this year. Sky Moore, 2 years in a row, finishing the season with an injury. Justin Ross, obviously a huge fan favorite. We're big fans of Justin Ross, but again, didn't really see much from him this year. Tyquan Thornton, speculative pickup from us from the Patriots throughout the season. And then Jason Brownlee, who measurables pretty good. Come from the Jets. I think he's like 6'4", big body guy. But again, big body receivers like Justin Ross, it hasn't really panned out for us. We always like these big body guys, but we never actually use those guys. But when you look at this, what do you think about the kind of receivers that we have going into next year?
Different body types. I'm just looking at it. Those last three right there, big body, athletic type, can wow you doing different things athletically. Are we going to utilize that? Are we going to let these guys play? That's the question. I think they like collecting nice things, nice toys, right? But you may not use it. You say, hey, man, you got this, 19 or 18, I don't know, 1890 roaster. I don't know. Say whatever. Why are you using it? What's the deal? Like, we don't take that out. It's good to look at. We don't take it out for a drive. Okay, we want to keep that right here in the garage. Okay, nice and diaper rub, keep the dust off of it. Okay, other than that, yeah, it just looks good. But as far as young guys, I mean, you see, we young all over the place. The whole thing up in the air is the Rashee Rice thing. We have no idea what's going to happen with that. Marcus, who's to say, Who's to say he's going to be suspended? Maybe they let it just kick the can down the road and sweep a little under the rug. Like, hey, man, all bygones is, it's like, hey.
Slide under the radar.
Yeah, it's like, it's been enough time. Let him pay the fine. Get, the family restitution for the things that they need, and so maybe they may not throw the book at him that harsh. And if it is, it might just be a couple of games. It might be 2. What are people looking out for blood for this at this moment? You know what I'm saying? I think he's been somewhat of, like I said, apologetic for the things he's done. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that's the case, but I see them not to, just because we are the Chiefs. It's like one of those things like, oh no, we're going to make sure we get them. But, you can also make the argument. I mean, the guy did pay, he got hurt, a really bad injury, right? I mean, isn't that like, I know it's totally different from the crime, right, that he did or that, but again, you need to get punched in a different way.
Well, look, I'm just saying, man, the league, even if it is, maybe they'll be like, hey, man, we're not going to throw the book at him. We ain't going to give you 6 to 8 games, okay, half a season or a whole year. We might just do 2 to 4 games, okay? If that's the case, then, yeah, fine. And I think, like, when I've said this before, we said he should pay for that. He understands that. I don't think he's trying to abscond, his responsibility at all. I think it's just we're at the mercy of the league, really. And Goodell, what he decides.
I do think with that whole situation with Rice, obviously coming off the injury, I think that's why they do need to make a play to keep Hollywood. And then I wouldn't be surprised if they do go. It's not really a big time receiver draft, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do go receiver middle of the draft, like 3rd, 4th round kind of guy. Just because, like, look at this room. I think Sky has 1 more year left. I think this is his final year there. Nico, obviously, return man. Ross, Thornton, Brownlee. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with those guys. So I do think there is a potential you do sign one of the receivers that we have as a free agent, and then you may draft another young guy. I think there's potential of that. And I think if they do draft a receiver within rounds 2 to 3, I think it might signal a little bit of like, okay, they know that there's a Rashee Rice suspension coming, and they need to have another guy in that room to, kind of offset with what's going to go on with Worthy, as well as maybe signing someone too. So, I think we may see that based on how they begin free agency in the draft. I think that might lend a hand at what is going to happen with the Rashee Rice situation.
Yeah, and that's another thing though too. Wide receiver, man, you got to have somebody who's going to be ready to come in. Who's that guy that could come in and be almost like a superstar in those things? I saw something about Keenan Allen was a target this offseason. I know he's unhappy up there. I don't know. Shoot. I mean, love to have a guy like that. But didn't he injury prone, G-pick. He's injury prone. Sucker right there, boy, got, bad legs.
He was surprisingly pretty healthy with them this past year, and that was probably miserable to play him. And that offense was really, like, most of the time down, but it was up and down this year, and he still battled it out there and played on that 1-year deal he had.
Hold on, let me go look at. Let's see what his stats were.
He was actually a decent fantasy guy. I don't know his stats were, but as far as like a nice, like, in a PPR league, he was a solid like 9 to 12 every week. He had a couple multi-touchdown games too.
Yeah, it sucked with. I mean, he's 32. Man, are you kidding? Yeah, 70 receptions.
Not bad.
Ain't bad at all. I didn't know he had 70. Jeez.
Did he have 8 touchdowns? How many touchdowns did he have?
7.
7. Okay.
That ain't bad, man.
That's not bad at all. Would that probably led our team in yards and catches, right? As far as receivers.
Yeah, he had 744 yards, 7 TDs, 10.6 average. So
yeah, he would have led our team. He would have led our receivers in in all categories this year.
Yeah, but with a Keenan Allen, man, you had to change up your offense and what you do.
Yeah,
really. I mean, he's the big body receiver that we're talking about, and so a guy like that needs to be fed.
Yeah.
PPR machine though.
Yeah. definitely a chain mover for sure. And that's an interesting name there. So Jerome Mitchell, try to draft Isaiah Bond or Ja'Cory Brooks. I don't know much about Ja'Cory Brooks, but Isaiah Bond from Texas. Woo! I watched his highlights, JD, and I'm curious if you get a chance to watch Isaiah Bond, 5'11", like 180.
Yeah, I've seen him.
He's not. I mean, he kind of looks the way he runs routes, man. He could be like a Hollywood force, like kind of a young Hollywood.
Man, he's got exciting route running potential. He gets open. He'll work in the offense of what we do without a question, no doubt about it. How big, where do we get him in the draft like that? Who's coming together?
I've read second or third for him.
Yeah, but he's a speed guy, thin speed dude. Him and what's the name would Worthy be right back, together.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know if they play with each other because I think he was with Alabama before transferring to Texas this past year.
Okay. All right.
His player comparison is Jalen Waddle is what I've seen, which it does look kind of similar to Jalen Waddle, old Jalen Waddle coming out of college.
Yeah, and I like Waddle, Tank Dell, those kind of guys, man. 5'11". I was watching his route runner. He could absolutely blister guys, 1-on-1.
He fits what we like to do. You always talk about we have a type. I mean, he definitely fits the type, the prototypical Veach and Mahomes type.
Absolutely. A guy like him answers a lot of questions for us. The question is, so if you bring a guy like that here, man, all these speculations, right? Who do you keep as far as like that, like you were saying before, the veteran, they got the experience. Yeah, who you keep?
Yeah.
You keep a guy like Juju here or DeAndre Hopkins, who do you keep?
I think if you do draft Isaiah Bond early, right, it's because he'd have to be second or third round pick. If you draft him, then you don't need to go Hollywood at that point. Then you just need a veteran presence in the room, and I think that's when you go Juju because he'll be cheaper than Hollywood. I think that's probably where they would go if they were to do that. But if they wanted to go with Isaiah Bond and pay Hollywood Brown, by all means.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Don Peterson said, I'd be surprised if any free agent wide receivers want to come here and run like they do and never get stats. I mean, you got to be part of the system, man. No question. You got to be part of the system. Somebody made this statement. I completely disagree with it. Somebody said, man, if we had Rashid Rice, we would have won we would have run the Super Bowl.
I mean, I don't think it would have mattered because Mahomes had like 0.2 seconds of time back there. I don't think it would have mattered.
Right. Yeah. Somebody said it, unless he could play left tackle. I was like, yeah.
Mahomes could have had Jerry Rice back there, and we still would have lost that game.
Look, G Pick says that Rashid don't play online. Right, G Pick. Right? Yeah. So it don't matter who's catching the football. Yeah, O-line says otherwise. Melly Matrix, no question.
Yeah, Rashid Rice, Jerry Rice, it wouldn't have mattered. Mahomes, we weren't winning that game with one of those guys. All right, so now we're kind of diving a little bit deeper into the free agents that we obviously talked about the guys who are going, who are free agents. Hollywood Brown. Okay, so last year signs a 1-year deal with us, $7 million deal worth up to $11 million in incentives. Obviously, that didn't. None of those incentives hit. Played in 5 games if you include playoffs. Missed most of the season with a sternoclavicular injury on the first play of preseason. The odds of that happening, man. Contract projection, according to Spot Track, is about 1 year, $8 million. So kind of right around where he was paid last year as far as average yearly amount. So, JD, all things considered, I know looking at the list, because we talked about it earlier on in the offseason, that Hollywood Brown was one of your top 5 guys to bring back. When you look at everything that kind of played out this year, obviously you talked about how he wasn't really utilized when he did come back at the end of the season. How much do you think that plays a factor with him not wanting to come back, if that is a potential reason? And also, too, with the $8 million potential of the kind of a running back of what he made last year from us.
Oh man, I think they really missed a moment. It was time when him and Pat was on the bench. Pat was like, "Hey man, we'll be back here next year." I think Hollywood wants to be a part of that. I think he really found a home here. And it didn't go as planned, neither for him or the team. And it's just unfortunate that it happened that way. Do teams try to pull him away because of his talent? And just like G-Pick said, when he's healthy, Hollywood is a stud. That is absolutely a fact. I've seen other people talking about, oh, why you want Hollywood? Man, because Hollywood has been torching defenses ever since he got into the league. Like him or love him, hate him, whatever it is, right? I mean, he goes out to Arizona and he plays with 3 or 4 different quarterbacks. Kyler Murray was hurt. They brought in, I forgot who all they used, but that's what it was. So he comes here and he gets hurt over something like this, the sternoclavicle, and he misses out. So we've seen him in training camp what it could look like, Marcus. Training camp looked sweet. It was bombs away, baby. It was bombs away, man. And that's all we wanted. We wanted that all during the season. And it couldn't. Him, Rasheed Rice, we didn't expect these guys to go to hell. We didn't. So if you could get Hollywood on the team, friend, like, hey, man, look, Hollywood, listen, let's do something, okay? I know you like it here. We like you being here. So let's make something happen, okay? Let's make something happen. So
the thing that we talked on last week about the Bills having interest in him, and Josh Allen's been wanting to play with him, and Mahomes loves Hollywood is one of the main reasons why we ended up picking him up was because Mahomes kind of pushed the organization to go get him. And I'm looking at this whole Buffalo Bills thing. I think someone commented on our channel the other day, and they kind of brought up a good point. Bills could have had Hollywood Brown. I remember we were talking about who should we get, right? And you were like, oh, let's go get Curtis Samuel. Hollywood Brown's injuries. I think Curtis Samuel could fit our scheme. He does a lot of different things, which he does. But they signed him to a 3-year, $24 million deal, Curtis Samuel. And that was with Hollywood still on the board there. So they could have had Hollywood at a bargain. Instead, they don't go Hollywood. They end up picking up Curtis Samuel for a more lucrative a deal. So it's a good point. It's like, why would Buffalo go after him now when they could have had him last year for kind of pennies on a dollar? Instead, they went for Curtis Samuel for a longer term deal and worth more money on an annual basis. So, I mean, that is a good point, right? Buffalo had a chance to get him last year, but he ended up going to Kansas City on a cheaper deal than what they paid for Curtis Samuel.
Probably just weighing pros and cons. And I think a lot of it had to do with his injury history. I think that's what they were concerned about more so than anything else. And so Curtis Samuel, who was a guy that was a little bit more reliable, who had been playing down there in Washington, they're like, hey, man, let him get out here to be the guy. He's got a very, particular skill set that we could utilize, right? So he kind of fit the mold of what they were kind of looking for. And they didn't quite use him as much as they did. So maybe Hollywood is a guy they like, hey, yeah, Hollywood, you know what? We've seen that you actually kind of, your legs didn't bother you. You looked like you was healthier. You just had a freak accident, for the injury. So maybe they may want to take that chance now, Marcus. But I think it had a lot to do with it. That's probably why. They didn't know how he was gonna make it through a year. So
do you think their projection for him is pretty spot on, kind of similar to what it was last year?
What, 1 year, $8 million? I don't know, man. I think Hollywood's going to be. He's going to want at least 9 to 10.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir.
Just says Buffalo doesn't want Hollywood as much as they don't want him to re-sign in Kansas City. I mean, it is definitely a need for them. They didn't really have a home run hitter threat on that team.
Yeah. I think they could care less who we sign, and they seen that we didn't really utilize him toward the end. They like, shoot, we'll take it, we'll use it. They like, man, we need somebody, please. Keon Coleman's young. It's going to take him a couple years to get his feet wet to where he is. Khalil Shakur is who he is. Plays that guy. We need another speedster. Amari Cooper wasn't going to be able to do enough for him. Quiet Storm up there just wasn't going, it is what it is. And then, of course, Curtis Samuels kind of, showed a little bit, kind of getting open. But I think he kind of underwhelmed them as well.
It's one of those things, the Hollywood Brown thing. I know, like, kind of going back to what you said about the Rashee Rice. If we had for the Super Bowl, we would have won. If you had a left tackle that could allow Mahomes to do what we want to do, right, then you get Hollywood Brown more involved. So it all kind of goes back to the same old issue, that left tackle spot. Doesn't matter who you have out there. They can't get the ball to him. You can't get the ball to him if you're getting pressured all day long. So that's another thing. If you do bring back Hollywood, you definitely need to make sure that left tackle spot is figured out so you can unleash to guys like Hollywood, Worthy, and Rashee Rice.
Yeah. Rashee Rice brings back your quick game, your RPOs and stuff like that. Hollywood and Xavier Worthy are the ones that stretches the defense, right? Once you get them pick your part, that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you're envisioning. So
it all comes back to left tackle spot. So Veach, figure that out, please. All right, so DeAndre Hopkins, a guy that if you've been watching the show for the last couple of years, you know that JD and I are big DeAndre Hopkins fans. We were even bigger fans 2 years ago, looking at our DeAndre Hopkins weekly update series. That was fantastic. But 2023, around that time when JD and I were trying to get DeAndre Hopkins to come to Kansas City, DeAndre signs a 2-year, $26 million deal with the Tennessee Titans. And then this past year, they trade him to the Chiefs. He appeared in 13 games with Kansas City. So there's those numbers with the Chiefs, regular season and postseason. 44 catches, 466 yards, 5 touchdowns. This surprised me a little bit, but the current contract projection, according to Spot Track for him, is about a 1-year, $15 million deal for DeAndre Hopkins. So they anticipate him getting around $15 million a year, which is kind of surprising to me because 2 years ago he was 2 years younger and he was getting 13 mil. Now he's 2 years older and we're talking more money than that. So that's kind of interesting. But JD, what do you make? What's that?
I said money's going up. So if you get more money in the kitty to use, guys want a piece of that. So, all the stocks are going to go up. All the receiver stock and everybody's going to go up. I mean, we're talking about Jamar Chase is going to make $40 million. So if I'm his agent, I'm just like, is he, half of what Jamar Chase is or a quarter of what it is? Shoot. Like, give us that. That's what we want. Right? So, I don't know. That's
at his stage in his career, how much is money he's made? He's had a few contracts, right? He's made good bank in the league. How much of that in this, I don't even know what year it is for him, but in this year of his career, how important is money at this point versus being able to go back to the big dance and actually kind of, win it?
I think it's that's more important to him than anything else is winning the ring. I think this is going to be his 14th year. So hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13th year. It's going to be his 13th year. So I think he's made a boatload of money. I think he's okay at that department. Some guys, it's like, hey, man, I can't never get enough. But I think DeAndre Hopkins, for who he is, like Melly Matrix said, loves his leadership and story, just don't know what he has left. I think he brings still a lot of value to young receivers. He helped guys out. I mean, he caught, like you said, 44 catches for us, right? 466 yards, 5 TDs. And we kind of went away from him. He kind of disappeared on us, a few games. It's like, hey, man, how come we ain't throwing to Hoptown? So, we always say he has the best hands in the business. I'll take his hands with anybody. So.
And he's another guy, like I know we talked about DJ Humphries getting a full offseason with us and whatnot. This guy is playing on hurt knees. I forgot what the severity of it. I think he was playing on a partially torn MCL this whole year. I remember when it was the Titans, that was kind of he was playing with a knee injury. Give him another guy. Give him a full offseason. Give him a full offseason playing, going to OTAs, going to training camp, going to mini camp, going to Texas with Patrick Mahomes and those young guys. Like, give him that as well. And I think, I know people want to chalk it up to, Chiefs don't know how to play with big body receivers. They can't play with Dustin Ross. They can't play with D-Hop. They can't play with Josh Gordon. And I think with D-Hop, yes, I would normally agree with that sentiment, but D-Hop was getting numbers as soon as he came in to Kansas City this year. Yeah, it waned towards the end of the season, but like even when the limited snap counts, he was still getting like 4 to 5 catches a game with Mahomes. So give him a full off season, and obviously I'm not paying him 1 year, $15 million. No way. But if he wants to come back to try to play for a championship, and he takes a reasonable deal, then why not? Give him a full offseason, give him a full time to heal and get healthy, but then also give him full time to participate in practice with Mahomes and kind of gain that chemistry and rapport down. And I think you could have something here as having him be like a number 4 in the offense and being able to mentor the young bucks like he did with Xavier Worthy this year.
Well, I mean, obviously, when you get older, your value diminishes. And here's the thing, Marcus. So we have him this offseason. Let's say he, lets the injury heal. The only thing is when you're older, you don't heal as fast. You've had several injuries and whatnot, and so it could reoccur. It could be a reoccurring injury over and over again, nagging stuff. For somebody who's played in the league, I've seen 12 years of it, of just dealing with it, man, and it weighs on you. Them little injuries add up, and so. Does that mean his knee's going to come back better than before? I don't think so. Same thing with Juju, right? Juju he just doesn't have the speed anymore. Injuries after a while, man, just accumulates, and it does its due on you. Okay, that's how this whole monster works. Age and experience and years and games and whatnot. You see guys becoming, shells of their former selves. So, but I don't know, man. Like I said, man, look, it's D-Hop. I ain't got nothing bad to say against D-Hop at all.
No, we love D-Hop here.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see. If we can't work something out, man, they'll, all right, okay, but we can't. But I think he wants, and he knows that probably his best chance and opportunity is getting back to the dance, and that's with Kansas City, with the Chiefs, no doubt.
Yeah, and a guy like that who has a really storied career, right? It was Houston, and then Tennessee, and then Kansas City. I don't think he wants to go to a 4th place, right? I can't imagine wanting to go to a 4th place. I mean, unless he really does want to chase for that ring and go elsewhere, but like you just in the place that took you to the dance. Go back, don't break the bank, right? Be that mentor, age the way you want to age by being that veteran voice in the locker room where all the young bucks look up to you, and compete for the ring. So I mean, obviously he needs to. It's whatever's important to him, right? The money or going for the ring. But I still see him wanting to bounce to another franchise at this point.
So the question is, do you keep both him and Hollywood? I don't think you can keep both of them.
You could if one of them takes a discount. If one of them takes a discount.
Yeah, right. Who's they both looking at each other like, who's gonna take that discount?
Come on, man. Hollywood say, come on, man. I haven't earned my second contract yet. Come on, you've already gotten those.
Yeah, I'm like. Put his nose up like,
or Veach gives them both the hey, we'll do 1 year $7 million deals with incentives up to $15 million, and then Andy Reid's got them on a 60% snap count, so they don't actually never reach the incentives.
Under Brown, he makes a argument for us. I could give you 2 simple reasons why D-Hop could be worth 1 year, $15 million. One side, pass turnover stopped. The young receivers' production increased. Sure. Yeah. Was the reason his turnover stopped, was that particular to D-Hop, or was it Pat just being a little bit more better in managing, not taking chances, throwing the football certain ways, right? I mean, D-Hop made some tremendous catches. There were some things that D-Hop, man, made some hell of some catches. When he first got here, he made some like, daggone, like that's what we was looking for. And so I'm sure that knee kind of nagged him a little bit. So that's the question. Like you said, somebody gonna have to take a discount. You're gonna have to try to find the money, man. But I know they ain't true.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens as far as between Hollywood and Hopkins. I would love to have both back, but obviously, realistically, probably only one of them's going to come back.
Yeah, I don't think you can do both.
So looking at Juju, obviously signs a 3-year deal after it leaves us. Signs a 3-year deal with the Patriots, worth $25.5 million. Gets cut a year later. Signs with the Chiefs this past year in 2024. 17 games, 22 catches, 307 yards, 2 TDs with the Chiefs, including playoffs. Missed a few games with a hamstring injury. I guess Spot Check only gives out the big ticket guys contract projections. There was no contract projection for Juju, so I guess that kind of tells you where a lot of these experts see him going this year. And if he's not, he definitely won't break the bank. JD, you mentioned that he does a lot of things. You talked about his blocking ability, just being a consummate pro, a veteran journeyman. I don't think he's going to be on the same tier as Hollywood or DeAndre Hopkins as far as money this offseason. Where do you see the chances of him coming back?
I don't know, man. Just see what they feel like the need. He does a lot of little things well, and I think that's why they love him. That's why I love him, because he's doing the dirty work. He'll come in, he'll make some blocks, he'll get things right. He knows how to read defenses. He knows how to get open. He knows how to sit in the hole in windows. Juju's a good player. He's just not explosive as he used to. So he does have value, without a doubt. The question is, what's the priority over the other two guys? Hollywood, D-Hop, and then Juju. What does that look like? So I don't know. He's not looking for a monster deal. If you could get Juju for something here that, team friendly, sure. Like I said, he's another one of the guys like a D-Hop. He's another guy that has a lot of experience, knowledge. He can help guys out. With compelling stories about what the league is all about. He could tell you. He could let those young guys know what it takes to work. So,
yeah, and he's seen it all, right? Being in a locker room with Mike Tomlin, a Super Bowl winning coach, being in a locker room with a crazy guy like Antonio Brown. He can give a lot of wisdom to these guys. And that being in a locker room with us, we've won Super Bowls before. So he's been around the block and also been around the Patriots organization as well. So he's been around.
Yeah.
And he was with Belichick his last year. So Belichick, Tomlin, and Andy Reid. I mean, he's been with some good coaches.
So yeah, he was with Belichick, and then that's when Mayo took over and got rid of him.
Yep. So yeah, he definitely has a lot of wisdom to bestow to the young bucks.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got value there.
And he signed another veteran minimum deal with the Chiefs. I'll sign me up for that. Mm-hmm. All right, McCole Hardman, obviously, with the Chiefs for a while, goes to the Jets, then comes back in 2024, or comes back to us in midseason, the trade. Free agent last year, doesn't get picked up till like June. We gave him a 1 year, $1.125 million deal, placed on IR with a knee injury in December, played in 12 games, 12 catches, 90 yards, 62 rush yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. Contract projection, NA, they don't have one listed for him. Again, JD, you talked about in the opener, a lot of injuries, kind of not allowing him to kind of, get a kind of a finite role in the offense this past year. Just kind of been the kind of story of his career in general, a lot of injuries. Smaller guy, definitely fits for our offense, but, the injuries kind of stall what he could do for us. Do you think, I know last year we thought this was probably bye-bye for McCole. He probably wasn't going to come back, and it looked that way up until June. Do you think this is probably the end for McCole Hardman's time in Kansas City?
Man, I couldn't even say. You have a young guy like Nico Remigio, okay, who has created value in his return game, has raised his stock. And I think that has put McCole Hardman in jeopardy as your return guy. And then out there running routes and stuff. I mean, McColl's he's a fan favorite. He started here in Kansas City, and people love him. Some people don't, dislike him for whatever reason. I like McCole Hardman. He was one of the guys I said we should have went back and go get, and we did. And we needed him. And he came in and he did his job. Won the Super Bowl with him. Look, as somebody who's dealt with injuries before, it's always a bargaining tool against you about what your worth is, what your worth is not. And so Hardman, even though they be like, hey, man, we appreciate all the things you've done, this and that, whatnot, man, they'll slap you on the back and push you on out the door. It's the NFL, man. It's the NFL. So I don't know how they feel about McCole. I'm a McCole fan. I really am. His knee injury. What was it that? Because it seemed like it was more that, because it's something like kind of lingered and was like, okay, man, he's going to be out a little bit longer. So,
well, last year he had that whole stomach thing. Remember that weird like stomach injury? Yeah, he had surgery on it, and then this past year the knee injury, which came out of kind of nowhere, really, and then they put him on IR. Samaj guessed after the Super Bowl, somebody sacrificed the price to play for redemption. They know Pat the truth, and he's going to be on a mission next season. He said he's going to really study defenses more for next season.
Yeah. So I don't, I don't know what the Chiefs are thinking right now. So the thing is, they know who they have. And then when you start talking about contract talks, it always goes into who can we get for what's the price, team-friendly deals, who can we keep? So I don't know if they keep McCall or not, though, Marcus. I really, I don't know.
Yeah, wish you all several abdominal and groin injuries for McCole and then the knee this year.
Yeah, and it's hard, man. You can't make I always say, you can't make the club in the tub. Can't do it. Can't do it. So.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I mean, he's had some flashes. You can make the argument we wouldn't have won the Super Bowl last year without him. What some of the big plays he had in the Dolphins game, Miami game, the Buffalo game, as well as the Ravens and of course the Niners game. But
there's some great plays for us.
Huge. We had no vertical threat, and then he comes along mid-season last year. It was huge.
That's what we needed. So.
All right, and the final receiver that is a free agent for us. There's some fans, Chief fans, who are huge Justin Watson fans. I never saw it. I'm gonna be honest. I never saw the whole Justin Watson love. Well, there's some fans who love Justin Watson. I'm with Team Brady. Tom Brady wasn't a big fan of Justin Watson. They. I
know. Yeah, you always go back to that. You always go back to Tom Brady like that. Who is this guy?
And so in 2023, he signed a 2-year, $3.4 million deal. It's been solid for us in the time he had to step up. He had some decent plays for us. It's crazy. He catches some balls, and I'm like, how does he catch that? Like, I remember in one of the Monday night games last year, caught a ball. I'm like, what the heck? How's he catching that? But then he dropped some easy passes. But Justin Watson's been solid this year, played in all games for us this year. A lot of injuries, but he was a solid guy, kind of a warrior throughout the season. But, modest 22 catches, 289 yards, and 2 touchdowns this year. Another one of these guys who doesn't have a contract projection, so probably be around the same, $1.5 million, $1.7 million kind of deal per year. JD, where do you stand on Justin Watson? I know there's some fans who think he would be I don't get it, but there's a lot of fans who think he's like a solid number 3 receiver in the league.
Listen, look, the best ability is availability. Okay, Justin Watson was available for us, and just like Richie Hall said, LOL, he's the only one making catches 2 years ago for us. He was him. MVS. You had Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore. That's what you list compiled of. That was it. But 84 was making catches. He made catches, and he's kind of Johnny on the spot. He's another guy that comes in, does all the right things, plays hard. He's going to know the offense, what he needs to do to kind of get open. He's a workhorse. But in a workhorse like this, do you keep a guy like that? Especially with the guys around you and the type of talent. So, hey, man. This is the NFL, and it's all about production. And you got to have a role, you got to have a purpose, and the team's got to see it. And if they feel like your role has been extinguished and you become expendable because of other guys, that's how it works, man. Teams don't have to keep you. You know what I mean? They don't have to keep you.
I agree.
Yeah. So like, oh yeah, the fans love you. They okay. Well, shoot. Appreciate it. Go see the fans. You can stay with them.
Well, I think my thing was, and there was a lot of people who do agree that, there's guys who aren't a practice squad, like, Justin Watson's not Justin Watson, Justin Ross's of the world, who more talented guys, more athletic guys. And if they got the reps that Justin Watson got, they probably would have done a little bit more with it than what Justin Watson did. But obviously, we're not in practice. We don't see, the effort that's being given out there, being Johnny on the spot, like you said. That Justin Watson may obviously provide a little bit more than some of the other guys. But I feel like if we did give guys like Justin Ross a chance to get the snaps that he was getting, I think a little bit more would have been done than what Justin Watson has kind of produced over the last 2 years. But that's kind of why I was always against him making the team. It was like, oh, I want a more athletic guy, a guy who can be more of a game changer than a Justin Watson in those final receiver roster spots.
Look, Justin Watson took advantage of every opportunity that he got, as he should. And so if other guys weren't stepping up and Justin Watson was like, here I am, more power to him, right? And he was, like I said, Johnny on the spot. Anytime they needed somebody to come in, kind of make a play, Justin Watson was that guy. And so that he gets a pat on the back from me. That a boy coming in and doing what he can do. Now, you could also argue that some of the passes and deep balls and stuff like that he missed. Like you said, some of the things that look like he missed some easy ones. So is the talent there as well? To be like a number 3 receiver in the NFL? I don't know. Sure, it depends on what team y'all. But boy, I know we needed him 2 years ago. I know that.
Yeah, he did have some clutch plays. He did have some clutch plays for us a couple years ago.
Yes, sir. Yes, he did. So, hey man, listen. Hey, I got nothing but love for those guys. All the guys you showed, I got nothing but love for you, baby. Got nothing but love for you, baby. So hey.
Yeah, love all those guys. All those guys have made great contributions for us. If you were a Chiefs receiver in the last few years, you've made a play for us that will always live forever. You've been a part of history. But again, like we talked about last week, Veach has some work to do. He's got some work to do.
Yeah. Cliff said, not bad, Coach Dunn. Oh, you like my voice? My singing? Cliff, I can hold a little note every once in a while. I have my moments. Sometimes it be hi, but I need to be here. Hi, you need to be here. Now, good stuff, man. Listen, for us, listen, look, I know, but here's my priority. Here it is. Offensive tackle, D-line, corner, wide receivers, tight end. I think wide receivers, tight end is something that we could kind of work on. Like all those guys you talked about, right? This offseason, you got time to actually work it out, right? Thank you, Don. Range. I got a little range, but for me, priority here is this. Right there, Marcus. This. Right there, Marcus. This. Right there, Marcus. We need to work out on those things. Why offensively, I do believe at certain areas you can probably address those things in the draft. Same thing with this too, right? I think you address that in the draft. This in the draft as well. Okay. Maybe not necessarily free agent. Sometimes we just ain't got money for guys. Sorry. And so we got to look at what we're going to spend money on, what we're not going to spend money on. Wide receiver down here, we could probably get some team-friendly deals to kind of help us out to get guys here, right? So same thing. I know everybody wants running back and all that. Man, you can get a running back. I think I wouldn't draft a guy high for running back. That's me. I wouldn't do it. I'm going to play that game. No, sir. Nope. I ain't going to play that game at all.
It's another deep class, though. Another deep, or we talk about DT, and running back are the deepest positions in this draft class.
It all depends on what a guy's going to translate into the NFL. You could be a beast in college, okay? You could be an absolute monster in college. Head kick back, you all in the wind. Man, you get up here, man, and look, you ain't going against Sister and Mary the Poor. You ain't going against a guy who's going in European financial, trademark, whatever it is. Yeah, you're not doing it. You're not doing it. You ain't going to biochemistry. That dude tackling right here, man. He ain't trying to, you know what I mean? He ain't trying to get to Wall Street. Sucker right here trying to tear your neck off, Marcus. So you come in like that high all you want to, okay? And you watch this sucker run straight through your throat, all right? Or straight through your chest. Hey, you don't want, hey, them guys, you see them guys that was big in college, start shrinking a little bit. All of a sudden, you seen it. Seen guys start to look around, trying to find their way out of training camp. Like, this ain't what I thought it was going to be. I know they was hitting that hard. Yes, sir. That's the NFL. So, better be ready.
Yeah.
So, Cliff Johnson, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I just...
Yes. Ala Rondane. Thank you, Sasha. Ala Rondane. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Rondane, monster in college, boy. Everybody, woo, Rondane this, Rondane that. Same thing with another one, ate himself out of the league, Alabama. They had a couple of running backs like that.
Oh, Richardson?
Yeah. You see that sucker, he run like he holding with a Mack truck. You're like, oh.
He ended up playing in like the first year when they did one of those spring leagues a couple years back. He was huge. That he didn't look like old Trent Richardson anymore when they did one of those spring leagues.
Hey, Trent, man, the all season it's been good on you, huh? It's been good to you, ain't it, Trent? Like, yeah. Let back up off that table, Trent. Shoot. We need that one. No. Yes, we do. Cliff Johnson said, pay Trey Smith. Tried to hit on a young left tackle. Kevin Banks, Utah. Or University of Texas. What is that? Oh, okay. Yeah. University of Texas. And Will Black, Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
Yeah, I don't like none of them guys. So
I'm just out on paying a right guard. I mean, you can't do it.
Oh, yeah, Trey too, man. I mean, it's going to be hard to keep him, brother. It's going to be hard. So, unless Trey don't like money.
Yeah. So.
He's
not taking a discount. He's been taking a discount for the last 4 years being a 6th-round pick. So, he's going to eat up on this big payday he's going to get from Chicago in a couple weeks. Yeah, going to reset the entire guard market with his contract with Chicago. That's what everyone's projecting right now. Because Ryan Poles, the GM of the Chicago Bears, was one of the scouts when they drafted him that year. So,
oh yeah,
there's a connection there.
Yeah, they've been trying to put their line together.
Need beef.
Yeah.
And I think they'll have more of a balanced attack with Ben Johnson being their coach. They'll have more of a balanced attack. They're going to run the ball more than we do. I mean, anybody does at this point.
Well.
So he'll definitely excel in their scheme over there. So. All right, guys. Well, that does it for us on this Monday morning tight end show. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We will see you guys Wednesday night for another off-season episode. JD, what do you guys say, brother?
Nothing. What we're gonna keep your eyes peeled open about the whole saga with the Eagles going to the White House or not. I don't know what's going on. Crazy stuff. But hey, But yeah, man, listen, it's wild. It's wild. Off season things. Listen, thank you so much for coming to the show tonight. Enjoying it. If you got here early and you've seen, I appreciate the prayers and stuff like that for my family, my mother, and all of those. She's doing fine. But like I said, keep us in your prayers. Appreciate you all coming in, rapping to us. It's always a great time. Send us something, man, so we can talk and chat about it. Wednesday, man, we'll try to have something put together for us, Marcus, okay? Put together for us. I miss you guys, man. The weekend is long. It's a long weekend, man. So we're going to get this thing popping and spicing and little stuff like that. I would love to get some people out here on the show. Thanks, Don, man. Appreciate it, brother. to talk more. So we had to talk some things, man. We love to see y'all. We love the comments. Maybe we need to do something to bring some voices out here, Marcus, from some of our people. Okay. So be good. Listen, someday guest, Richie Hall, Chiefs fan 1969, Don Peterson, G Pick, Sasha. Thank you so much. Cliff Johnson, my man. I'm the Brown is here in the house. Thank you, sir. Melly Matrix, always good hearing from you. Valori Sanders, appreciate it. Greg Rose, thank you, my guy. G Pick, Lonnie Pyramid is in here. I see Lonnie just snuck in. What's up, Lonnie? Good seeing my guy. He said you played against Dane in high school? I bet he was a monster in high school then. Yeah. DeMonte Green Beans. DeMonte laughing at me. DeMonte be laughing at me all the time. DeMonte, always good seeing you and talking to you, my brother. Always good catching up with you. Let me see who else we had on here as well. I said Melly Matrix. But look, these nights like this is always good to kind of come in and catch up with some things that's going on in the world, talking about it. Is this, let me ask you this, is this a real thing? Is supposedly John Rocker and Pat Mahomes, are they supposed to be doing a fight?
They put a kibosh on that. Mahomes' agent kind of got a hold of it and said no, they're not doing it. But they were going to do it at first, but then Mahomes' agent got a hold of the whole thing and called it off.
Them two jokers trying to make some money. That's what they were trying to do.
And Pat's not trying to ruin his image, so he's like, nope, we're not doing that, Dad.
Hey, what are you doing? We're not doing that. Not doing that. So that's my little impression of Pat. Linda Hunter, thank you so much. But Jaron Mitchell, appreciate it, my guy. Maria DeJarnes, thank you so much. Heart Roses, how you doing? Thank you, Hearts and Roses. Always good hearing from you. Always good hearing from you. Let me see who else we got in here. Ray 028. Perfection 2K. They said bring D. Hollywood Brown back home. Well, we'll see. Double A is in the house. Look, all y'all that was sitting back. Wesley Underwood, I ain't seen you. Bye, Watson. Bye, Hartman. 50-50 beside the top two. I ain't heard your voice yet, but it was good. I missed you out there, Wesley Underwood. Okay, come on in. So you got a couple on. I didn't even see you, bro. I didn't even see you. But all y'all ones that's coming in here, please give us your things on the chat. We love engaging with you guys. If y'all new followers, we're gonna get some things out here. Get some more people need to know about us. They need to come in and get some good stuff. We're gonna give y'all some good meat on the plate. Drew Boucher, good seeing you, Drew. Said some things in there earlier. Appreciate you, guy. Thank you so much. Jason Dunn, sweetie, thank you, babe. Think I talked about time. Hope your family's doing well about time. Kevin Mars, my guy, is in here as well. Sweetie was in here. Listen, Kevin was in here too. Listen, y'all know what it is. Y'all know how we feel about you. We appreciate your time as much as y'all appreciate ours. We're coming out here working hard for you all to have a great time. Enjoy yourself. Engage with us. Listen, y'all take care. We will see you on Wednesday. Send us something. If y'all see us, if y'all follow us on Twitter, send something to our DMs, okay, so we can talk about it. We want to put y'all out there front and center. How about that, Marcus? I love doing that, okay? Y'all family, let's have a conversation, come talk. Like you always know, hey, the water is always fine over here, Chiefs Concerns. Water is always fine. Marcus, my brother, love you, man. I will talk to you. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Love you, brother. Send your love to my mom, man. To your mom, man.
I will. Absolutely, I will. Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it so much, man. Hey, God is beautiful.
Yes,
it's been blessings. So we'll see y'all later, man. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. All right. God bless. We'll see y'all later. Okay. Wednesday.
Good night, everybody. See you Wednesday. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.